So Wuthering Waves just did their 2.6 live stream, and honestly it was absolutely amazing. There was so much stuff to uncover, which I kind of wanted to go through in this video and go through the kind of, I guess, preview and summary of what has actually gone on and what you can expect to see in version 2.6. Now, obviously, as every time, they've released a whole article giving us everything we need to know. Now, the first thing, obviously, is a big factor, is the fact that we're getting a new main story quest, which is very exciting. We're also getting 2 chapters of that, by the way, which are going to be split up. One is dropping around like August, and then the other is dropping around like early September. So obviously they're going to be spread out a little bit. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be heavily involving characters like Augusta and Iuno. So again, I'm very excited to see that. They talk a lot about like the hunt and a couple of other really cool like aspects. So again, I'm excited to see what can kind of unfold from that and how they can one up obviously the last story, which was very good. And obviously we go on as well to the Gifts of the Moon Roamer, which again, I'm pretty surprised they actually put this so high up on the list here. But this was something that they actually just threw in at the end of the live stream, which actually caught a lot of people off guard. We actually get 20 free pools, which is actually great. You get 10 free, permanent, not permanent pools, limited pools. You get 10 of those. And you also get 10 of the weapon pools as well, which surprised me because usually they would do just 10 of the limited and 10 permanent. But again, they've decided to be a little bit more generous here, which again is absolutely great. And it was just one of these things where essentially Wuthering Waves have already announced all of these really great stuff, including obviously the main story quest. And then they just kind of kept adding on stuff like this, like, and a 20 free pool, and this, and that, and that. And they just kept adding on and adding on and adding on, which honestly made this a really good live stream for me. Now, obviously, we can keep going on to the new location as well. So not only do we have new main story quests, we also have a new area to explore. It looks absolutely amazing, kind of gives me some kind of Elden Ring kind of vibes, and it has some really nice areas around it. There's some like kind of like calmer, like watery, like kind of luminescent things, which obviously fits in with Iuno's kind of style and design, which they were definitely showing off a lot with. And we also got some new echoes as well coming to this region, including obviously a dinosaur, which is pretty sick. I mean, I'm good. Dinosaurs and echo is going to be very cool. Again, that is the one there. We also have this false sovereign, which also looked very nice. He had some really cool abilities. So again, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how these perform. We also have a ton of new nightmare echoes as well. If you don't know, nightmare echoes are the kind of improvements upon like last echoes that Wuthering Waves add, and essentially, yeah, you can use them. Now, I don't think many people would be using these because they are like 1 cost and stuff like that. Who's really going to be using that in their 4 cost slot? But still look cool. Still a really cool addition. We also have some new Phantom Echoes as well. We've got the Fallacy of No Return, looking all yellow there, and a Phantom Kerasaur as well. Very cool. Again, Echoes, they don't really do much for me, but it is nice to see that they're adding some variation into there. We also got some new Sonata effects again. Obviously, we got the Crown of Valor, which is upon gaining a shield, increase the Resonator's attack by 6% and crit damage by 4%. For 4 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. We've also got the Law of Harmony 2, which is casting Echo skill grants 30% heavy attack damage bonus for the caster for 4 seconds. Additionally, all resonators in the team gain 4% Echo skill damage bonus for 30 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Echoes of the same name can only trigger this effect once. The record of Echo triggering this effect is cleared along with this effect. At 4 stacks, casting Echo skill again resets the duration of this effect. So again, obviously, yeah, some really cool new Sonata effects coming out. Obviously, I'm sure they'll have a big influence on the builds of Augusta and Iuno, so we'll have to see how they're implemented and how they really help them out there in terms of that. Now, also, we've got a new hologram challenge, obviously, where you get most of these every single time. Looks really cool. Again, it's the Lady of the Sea hologram. So yeah, going to be very exciting to try and fight that one and lose my mind over like my 400th attempt of trying to beat it. But yeah, they've also added a ton of new optimizations. Now, this might be one of the biggest updates, surprisingly, for a lot of people, is actually the flight. They've changed, obviously, the flight in terms of they're actually going to be adding flight to Jinzhou and the Black Shores. They say press the flight button in any open space to ascend and start flying. without the need to rely on elevated terrain, meaning that we can now take off from the floor as well, which again is great. But they also say additionally, flight will become available in Jinzhou and the Black Shores as well. You can enjoy the thrill of soaring in these new regions. Now, obviously, they also added an event to this to essentially I don't know if they're going to add flight for the new people, like starting out the game in Jinzhou. I think they are going to, because they have added an event where you can essentially get your like flight license, a little bit like how Genshin did it, you know, and you can still do that even if you already have flown in Rinascita. You need to just go back and do it so you can fly around in this new region, which I think is a way of onboarding a lot of players to be able to fly in this first region as well, which honestly I think is a good idea. So again, yeah, flight's being added, and it's surprisingly one of the biggest talking points of this, because people have been asking this for ages, and it seems like devs have finally listened again. Yes, that old meme is coming back up. You know, it seems like they finally listened, and they finally listened to us wanting more flight mechanics and more flight kind of opportunities. And yeah, it seems like that's happening. But also, one important thing to note, which they didn't add here, is they will not be adding flight to new regions. So obviously, Jinzhou's getting it. Black Shores is getting it, and obviously rinascita, Septimont, they'll have it, right? But in like the new Federation and places like that, which are set to be coming out soon, we will not be able to see flight. But they did say they'll have some other kind of mechanics which will help out with kind of exploration and things. So again, I'm excited to see what they can really do for that. Now, they also talk about updated permanent events. They say the main page, a lineup for the page for Fantasies of 1,000 Gateways event has been optimized. Again, they just optimized a ton of stuff to do with some of the menus over there. So again, if you're interested in that, then, you know, obviously that's great. And it seems like, yeah, there's a pretty big update to do with that. Now, obviously, they go on to optimize exploration experience. They say mineral collection spots will be marked on your map, and the detection range of the loop mapper has been extended, meaning that it's going to be easier to find minerals and different kind of materials and stuff, which is cool. We've also got optimized gallery. Again, you know, you can look at the details of your weapons and things like that in the game, which is very cool if you're very interested in, you know, the weapons and the whole detailing of a lot of that kind of stuff. We've also got optimized interface. They added a one-click collection across most of the pages, list claimable rewards, including guidebook, databank levels, and the majority events. Click any claim button on the reward page to claim all available rewards on that page. So again, obviously just making it much easier. They also added new keyboard shortcuts been added to PC version, and you can actually press the spacebar now to actually get into the game rather than clicking on it, which I guess is a cool change. I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but hey, you know, that's cool. They also optimized a ton of graphics stuff, including more support for AMD graphics cards. So if you're an AMD person who's been missing out on a lot of that NVIDIA stuff that's been coming out over on Wuthering Waves, then, well, you're going to be in luck a little bit more because they have been working with AMD graphics a little bit more. Obviously, yeah, this is the whole poster that is coming with it. And then we get onto the whole banner side of it. And obviously, we've got the new characters, which we've already seen the gameplay for. If you guys saw my previous video, we looked at some of the gameplay for both of these characters. They both look absolutely amazing. Me personally, I'm going to be pulling for both of them. Again, we got Augusta and Iuno, both going to be there. And also, yeah, we've got the featured convene. So the first set of banners is going to be obviously Augusta, then it's going to be Carlotta and also Shorekeeper. So we've got a 3-person banner for the first phase. So very exciting. Obviously, if you want to get any of these characters, obviously it's going to be very hard to make up your mind because obviously Augusta looks absolutely amazing. She's the new character. She looks incredibly strong. We've also got Carlotta, probably one of the strongest DPS units in the game still to this day. And also you got Shorekeeper, who's, you know, not even a question, one of the strongest supports in the game as well. So it's going to be pretty hard to make up your mind with that. But then also you've got Iuno as well on the second phase. So again, you might have to save up for that too, who looks absolutely amazing. And also Chacona. Now, I don't know if Chacona will work with Iuno, but again, that would be really cool if they did. Obviously, they are both aero, and obviously Chacona does some aero stuff. So maybe that could potentially work for the both of them. We've also got their weapons too. They both look absolutely amazing. So again, you can pull on those, and obviously the extra 10 weapon banner pools are definitely going to help you out with that one. Again, we can keep going. That's just on the phases and stuff. And then finally, we got these special events here as well. We got the Hunt of Ash and Steel. We got some area exploration events, photo collection events. We've also got a defense simulator where essentially we can do tower defense, which looks really cool. Definitely going to be giving that one a try. So again, you know, it's more 3D, not 2D. So I thought that was very, well, not unique, but I think it's just very interesting. I think it's very cool. And also we've got Gifts of the Hunt, which is a 7-day login event. as usual. We also got some more leisure events. You got limited time puzzle events, lunar divination event. This lunar divination event can actually provide you with in-game buffs for exploration and things. So again, definitely don't miss out on that one, because yeah, they said like if you miss out and you do multiple of them, then one of them like overwrites another, which I thought was interesting. And then we also got the Wind Rider project, which is the one that's talking about with the you have to take the exam kind of thing to fly in Jinjo, and that's it really. And then we've got the Back to Solaris event too, for getting you know, people who have left back into the game as well. So yeah, that's the whole update there, and as I said, it just kept getting better and better and better. I think it's also important to note that we also had this one little trailer at the end, which I'll quickly just play for you.
It's been a while, rinascita.
What prey do we hunt this time?
The Trenodian.
So yeah, that's literally all there is to that, and obviously it's very cool that there is a little cutscene kind of teasing Garabrena. So I'm very excited to see what she has to do with the story, and whether, you know, there's going to be anything big with that. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all of the update. I'm very excited for what's to come, and you know, it's much better than the previous kind of things we've had. You know, it's been a bit of a slow patch recently with the whole second phase. So I think that, you know, honestly, it's going to improve much more, and I can't wait to see what is coming out of it. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.